Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to start unit number 5, management of current assets. Till now, we have discussed unit number 4, that is working capital management and finance. So that is we can say that very small chapter. But coming to unit number 5, that is management of current assets. So this is the lengthiest chapter or lengthiest unit. So here the management of current assets includes management of cash, marketable securities, management of receivables, management of inventory, and in this particular chapter another topic is there, that is corporate restructuring. So actually, what are the current assets? So current assets are the assets which can be convertible into cash within a 1 year period of time, that is within short period of time. So here the short period of time is called as 1 year period of time. So here what are the elements of or what are the components of current assets? Here the components of current assets are material, that is inventory, debtors, short term investments or marketable securities, cash. So here that is why the reason here management of current assets includes management of cash, marketable securities, management of receivables, and management of inventory. So these four aspects we are going to study under the management of current assets. So apart from these four topics, another topic is there, that is corporate restructuring. Okay, so let us start with management of cash. So in this video particularly we are going to discuss about what is cash management. Okay, right. See, introduction towards management of cash. First point, cash is the most important aspect of operating a business. See, we know all, not only business, so cash is the most important aspect for any kind of activity. Okay, not only business. So when coming to business point of view, cash is the most important aspect of operating a business. So to operate a business, cash is very important. So without cash we cannot operate a business. Second point, it is the basic input that keeps business running on a day-to-day basis. So here cash is the basic input that keeps business running on a day-to-day basis. So to run day-to-day business activities, so cash is the basic input for the running of business. Point 3, a firm with a sufficient amount of cash is highly liquid. It has the ability to meet all of its expenses. So a firm with sufficient cash, here a firm with sufficient amount of cash is highly liquid. So here due to the availability of cash, it has the ability to meet all of its expenses. So because it is having enough cash with them, so here the business can meet all of its expenses. And next one, business needs to maintain an optimal amount of cash balance. This is because inadequate cash can slow down production. So every business need to maintain an optimal amount of cash balance. So what is an optimal amount of cash balance? So optimal amount of cash balance refers to the best cash balance they have to keep or they have to maintain, because here inadequate cash slow down the production. So if the sufficient cash is not there with the firm, then it impacts on the production process. So that is called inadequate cash can slow down production. Whereas excessive cash can turn out to be expensive as it hampers the earnings potential of business. So here inadequate cash which causes for interruption of the production, whereas excessive cash, so excessive cash means extra cash, so extra cash means more than sufficient cash. So here the more than sufficient or excessive cash can turn out to be expensive. So here it is very expensive as it hampers the earnings potential of the business. See here, the extra amount means the excessive amount which we brought in different sources of capital or which we brought in different sources. So it is costly, it is very expensive. So we can say that if you use that funds or if you don't use that funds, so we have to bear the interest from which sources we have to brought it. ఎక్కడెక్కడ నుంచి అయితే మనం తెస్తామో, suppose for example we brought in the form of we can say that short term finance అనుకోండి. సో దానికి మనం ఏం చేయాలి, we have to pay interest. So that is why the reason the excessive cash, it is hamper or it is harmful for the earnings potential of the business. So it impacts the earnings potential of the business. Further, idle cash carries an implied cost for business. This cost is called the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is in the form of losing out on the interest income. See here, the balanced cash should be maintained or the optimum level of cash should be maintained. So inadequate or excessive cash is danger. Apart from idle cash, that is the funds without investing or the funds which is keeping ideal, that means nowhere investing. So it is where it carries an implied cost. So this cost is called as opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost is in the form of losing out on the interest income. So it is in the form of losing out of the interest income. So it pays interest, so which causes for the reduction in the income of the firm. And the next one, this means that having inadequate or surplus cash indicates mismanagement of that business funds. So here the idle funds which indicates that the inadequate or the surplus cash indicates that mismanagement of that business funds. So we have to maintain cash in a balancing way. So if the business maintains inadequately or excessively, so that indicates that there is a mismanagement of the business funds. So there is no proper management of the business funds. Next one, therefore business must lay emphasis on maintaining an optimum balance of cash. So to avoid the dangers of excessive cash, at the same time to escape from the danger of inadequate cash position, so here therefore the business must lay emphasis on maintaining an optimum balance of cash. So it should maintain optimum balance of cash. So such a cash balance needs to be maintained at the right place, at the right time, and at the right cost. So here such a cash balance needs to be maintained at the right place or appropriate time, at the same time at right cost. So this is what about the introduction towards the cash management. So that means the business should maintain cash effectively. That means over or excessive of cash as well as the inadequate of cash is very dangerous for the firm. And next, definition of cash. So what is cash? What is the definition of cash? So in the words of P.V. Kulkarni, cash is the business enterprise may be compared to the blood of the human body. Blood gives life and strength to the human body, and cash imparts life and strength to the business organization. So here PV Kulkarni defined cash as a blood in the human body. He compared cash as a blood in the human body. Here, where the blood gives life and strength to the human body, in such a way cash also imparts life and strength to the business organization. So cash also which gives the life as well as strength to the business organization. Without cash there is no, we can say that, business. So that is, without blood there is no body at the same time. So without cash a business organization cannot be run successfully. Next, according to J.M. Keynes, it is the cash which keeps a business going. Hence, every enterprise has held necessary cash for its existence. So, he defined as cash which keeps a business going. So, cash which runs the business. So, cash is elements which is essential for the business going on. Hence, every enterprise has held necessary cash for its existence. So every business should maintain necessary cash for its existence to run successfully or to survival in the market. So it is necessary to maintain sufficient cash. So this is what about the definitions. And see here, the next topic is motives for holding cash. So why we should maintain or why we should hold the cash? అసలు మనం క్యాష్ అనేది ఎందుకు దగ్గర పెట్టుకోవాలి? వాట్ ఆర్ ద హోల్డింగ్ ఆర్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద మోటివ్స్ ఫర్ ద హోల్డింగ్ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్? సో మనం క్యాష్ అనేది మన దగ్గర దాపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఐ మీన్ క్యాష్ అనేది మన దగ్గర ఉంచుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఏంటి? మనం మెయింటైన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఏంటి? వాట్ ఆర్ ద మోటివ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ బిహైండ్ ద holding of cash? See here, J.M. Keynes, a prominent economist, pointed out 3 primary motives for holding cash. సో మనం ఎందుకోసం క్యాష్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేయాలంటే there are 3 primary motives are there. So here the first one is the transaction motive, and the second one is the precautionary motive, and the third one is the speculative motive. First one is transaction motive, second one is the precautionary motive, and the third one is the speculative motive. So let us discuss one by one what is transaction motive. See here, the transaction motive requires a firm hold cash to conduct its business in the ordinary course. The firm need cash primarily to make payment for purchases, wages, operating expenses, taxes, dividends, etc. So here, what is transaction motive means here? Transaction motive requires a firm hold cash to conduct its business in the ordinary. So what is transaction motive means? Here the transaction motive means to conduct the day-to-day transactions, we should hold the cash. Okay, to run the day-to-day transactions or to run the business in the ordinary course. So in general we need to run the business. So here to run the business we need to hold some cash. So here the firms need cash primarily to make payment for purchases, that is purchase of raw material, and next we can say that payment of wages, and next operating expenses like payment of electricity bill, we can say that payment of payment for the repairs and maintenance. So we can say that these are the operating expenses, and next to pay the taxes, and next to pay the dividend for the shareholders. So to meet all these expenses, so here the business should hold some amount of cash. So this is called transaction motive. So here to meet the day-to-day transactions, so here the business should hold some amount of cash. And the second one is the precautionary motive. So precautionary means mundu jagratta. So precautionary, here the precautionary motive is to hold cash to meet any contingencies in future. it provides a caution or buffer to withstand some unexpected emergency. The precautionary amount of cash depends upon the predictability of cash flows. సో ప్రికాషనరీ మోటివ్, సో మనం క్యాష్ అనేది ఎందుకు మెయింటైన్ చేయాలంటే సో ఫర్ ద ప్రికాషనరీ మోటివ్. సో ప్రికాషనరీ మోటివ్ అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటంటే సో హియర్ టు మీట్ అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్, ఆర్ దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ టు మీట్ ద ఎనీ కాంటింజెన్సీస్ ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సి ఫర్ ఎ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్, so there are no works. So due to the lockdown position, most of them they are not working in the field. So most of them they are not getting, for example you take we can say that some of the business houses, those are run successfully previous lockdown, but due to the lockdown they was closed. So here if the business houses does not maintain or does not hold proper cash with them, so here they are unable to meet the unexpected future, that is called contingencies in future. So this situation is called as contingency. So here they didn't expect this kind of lockdown situation in India. So here that is why the reason to face this kind of unexpected futures, so here as a precautionary motive the business should maintain some cash. So here the precautionary amount of cash depends upon the predictability of cash flows. So here it depends upon what is how much amount they have to maintain, that is it depends upon the predictability of the cash flows. And next one is the speculative motive. Speculation means taking the advantage of the situation. So here the financial manager would like to take advantage of unexploited opportunities. Some reserve of money is always essential to enable the firm to take advantage of cash when such opportunities arise. The speculative motives help to take advantages, different advantages are there. So here to take advantage of unexploited ఆపర్చునిటీస్, సో అనుకోకుండా వచ్చే కొన్ని అడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఉంటాయి చూడండి. సో అట్లాంటి అడ్వాంటేజెస్ని మనకు అనుకూలంగా మలుచుకోవడానికి ఈ స్పెక్యులేటివ్ మోటివ్ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అనేది ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. సో హియర్ సమ్ రిజర్వ్ ఆఫ్ మనీ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎసెన్షియల్. సో ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఏం చేయాలి, కొంత అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ అనేది రిజర్వ్లో పెట్టుకోవాలి. సో టు ఎనేబుల్ ద ఫర్మ్ టు టేక్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ వెన్ సచ్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అరైజ్. సో ఇప్పుడు కొంత రిజర్వ్ ఆఫ్ ఫండ్ మన దగ్గర పెట్టుకోవడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే సో ఏమైనా అనుకోని అడ్వాంటేజెస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, అంటే ఏమైనా అనుకోని అవకాశాలు వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆ అవకాశాన్ని మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే ప్రాపర్గా యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నాడు. సో వాట్ ఆర్ ద అడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఆఫ్ ద స్పెక్యులేటివ్ మోటివ్ అంటే హియర్ సి ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ అన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ టు పర్చేస్ రా మెటీరియల్ ఎట్ ఎ రెడ్యూస్డ్ ప్రైస్ ఆన్ పేమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇమీడియట్ క్యాష్. సో కొన్ని సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ద రా మెటీరియల్ మే బీ అవైలబుల్ ఇన్ ద మార్కెట్ at reduced price. So to purchase that particular raw material at reduced price, we should have some money. So if we don't have that money at that time, so we are unable to purchase the raw material at a reduced price. So this kind of opportunity may be utilized when there is a speculative motive of cash. So మనం అది స్పెక్యులేటివ్ మోటివ్లో మనం క్యాష్ మెయింటైన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే సో ఈ రకంగా అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్గా ప్రైస్ అనేది రెడ్యూస్ అయినప్పుడు దెన్ వీఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు పర్చేస్ ద రా మెటీరియల్. సెకండ్ వన్, ఏ ఛాన్స్ టు స్పెక్యులేటివ్ ఆన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్ మూవ్మెంట్స్ బై బయింగ్ సెక్యూరిటీస్ విత్ వెన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్స్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ టు డిక్లైన్. సో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్ ఆఫ్ సెక్యూరిటీస్ డిక్లైన్ అయినప్పుడు మనం సెక్యూరిటీస్ని బై చేయడానికి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సెక్యూరిటీస్ మనం ఇప్పుడు బై చేస్తాం at lowest rate, so in future it is going to be increase. So in that way the business can be benefited. And next one, delay purchase of raw material on the anticipation decline in purchase. So here the firm may be benefited by the way of delay purchase of raw material on the anticipation of decline in prices. And the next one, to make purchases at favorable prices. So to make purchases at favorable prices, so here the speculative motive of cash will be here very advantageous in this kind of situations. And next one is objectives of cash management. So here, what are the objectives of cash management? See, the basic objectives of cash management are as follows. See here, to meet the cash disbursement needs, that is payment. So what is the objective of cash management? So here the cash management is there to meet the cash payments or the cash payment schedules or cash disbursement needs. So to make payments in a, we can say that as per schedule we need to maintain cash, or there is a requirement of cash management. Next, to minimize funds committed to cash balance. So here, to minimize funds committed to cash balance. So here, to reduce the funds committed to cash balance, so here cash management is required. These are the two basic objectives of cash management. So these are conflicting and mutually contradictory, and the task of cash management is to reconcile them. So here there is a controversy between these two objectives. So here it should here the cash management is required to meet the, we can say that, payment schedule, as well as it is required to minimize the funds committed towards a cash balance. So there is a conflict as well as mutually contradictory between these two tasks. And the next one is functions of cash management. So what are the functions? Cash management అనేది అసలు ఏం చేస్తుంది? What kind of functions it will do? The first one is cash planning. Second one is managing cash flows. Third one, determining optimal cash balance. And fourth one, investing ideal cash. So here we will discuss one by one what is cash planning. See here, cash planning. So cash planning means a business needs cash for meeting its short term and long term business needs. So generally every business needs some we can say that cash for the meeting of short term as well as long term business needs. See here, it represents, see here we have to estimate what are the inflow, we can say that we have to estimate what are the estimated cash flows for the future, as well as what are the estimated cash payments for the future. So here in cash planning, here we can say that a business generates sufficient profits but faces cash shortage on day-to-day basis. See here, how to maintain cash, we can say that how to maintain or how to prepare cash planning. See here, cash planning is very important for any kind of business. So planning is nothing but, so first we have to estimate what are the, we can say that expected cash inflows or expected receipts, as well as what are the expected payments for a particular period of time. So here in the preparation of cash planning, see here, cash budget is an important tool. So every business should prepare a cash budget to undertake cash planning. Okay, so here cash planning is essential for every business. So here to plan properly, here the cash planning undertakes the help of cash budget. So with the help of cash budget, here every business can plan their cash. So that is called cash planning. And the second one is managing cash flows. So here a business undertake cash management to manage its cash inflows as well as cash outflows. So cash inflows as well as cash outflows. So what are the sources of cash inflows for every business? So here the cash inflow sources may be accounts receivable, okay, and we can say that, and cash outflows may be accounts payable. So here every business must speed up its cash collection and delay cash payments as per the general principle. See here, managing cash flows means, so managing cash flows can be two categories. management of cash inflows and management of cash outflows. So in every business, the management of cash inflows represents accounts receivables, whereas the management of cash outflows represents accounts payables. So in a general sense, or in a general principle, that every business wants to collect their receivables as soon as early possible, and they want to as much as possible for the delay of their payments. సో ఎవరైనా ఎక్కడైనా కానీ ఏముంటుంది, ఏ బిజినెస్లో అయినా కానీ వాళ్ళకు వచ్చే ఇన్ఫ్లోస్ని ఎంత తొందరగా వీలైతే అంత తొందరగా రాబట్టుకునే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తారు. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం మనం ఎక్కడైతే పేమెంట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుందో ఆ పేమెంట్స్ని ఎంత వీలైతే మ్యాక్సిమం మనం పోస్ట్ పోన్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తాం. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ మేనేజింగ్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్. సో హియర్ ద మేనేజింగ్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్ రిప్రజెంట్స్ management of cash inflows and management of cash outflows. And next one is determining optimal cash balance. So here every firm should determine optimal cash balance. So as we discussed in the initial stage of this video, so here the excessive cash as well as the inadequate cash is very dangerous for the firm. So that is why the reason here in the functions of cash management, the determination of optimal cash balance is very important. So determination of optimal cash balance means here, so here they have to properly estimate what are the inflows as well as what are the outflows for the business, and they should maintain a proper balance between inflows as well as outflows. If there is a situation that there is a shortage of cash in future, so here the shortage of cash can be fulfilled by taking different sources of finance. So here that is why the reason here determining optimal cash balance is a very crucial functions of cash management. And the last one, that is investing idle cash. See here, idle cash must be invested properly. అంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, సో we estimated cash flows, we estimated cash outflows. So after making such payments, after receiving payments as well as after making such payments, some firms they maintain ideal cash flows, that is surplus funds. So here the surplus funds should be invested properly. So మన దగ్గర మిగిలిపోయిన ఫండ్స్ అనేవి it cannot generate any income if the funds are till ideal in the business. అవి బిజినెస్లోనే కొనసాగినట్టయితే అలా ఆ రకంగానే, సో it cannot maintain or it cannot we can say that generate any kind of, we can say that benefits. So that is why the reason here ideal cash must be invested properly. So here a business, we can say that excess cash should normally invested in marketable securities. Okay, and such securities can be easily converted into cash. So here normally the ideal funds can be, every firm they will invest in marketable securities. Okay, because they can be easily converted into cash. So here excess cash, that is cash left after meeting working capital needs of a business. So what is excess cash means, here the excess cash is the cash which is left over after the meeting of వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. సో వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ తర్వాత మిగిలిన క్యాష్ని ఏమంటామంటే ఇక్కడ ఎక్సెస్ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అంటాం ఆర్ ఐడియల్ క్యాష్ అంటాం. సో హియర్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్వెస్టెడ్ ప్రాపర్లీ అండ్ in a normal way the business, every business they will invest in marketable securities, as such securities can be easily converted into cash. Okay, so this is what about the functions of cash management. So cash planning, in cash planning it will prepare cash budget, managing cash flows, that is cash inflows and outflows, and determining optimal cash balance. So to overcome from the problems of excessive as well as excessive as well as inadequate cash balance. So here the firm should determine what is the optimal cash balance for their business. And next one, investing idle cash. So here the idle cash does not generate any benefits, so it can be invested properly. Normally every business invests their idle cash in marketable securities, which we can convert, which we can easily convertible them into cash in a short period of time. And next one, cash management strategies. See here, cash management strategies. Collection policy. First one, see here, enforce a formal collection policy to manage your accounts receivable balance. So collection policy, so how to we should get cash. So here we have to maintain the cash. So what are the basic strategies we have to follow? That is, first one is collection policy. So collection policy means generally every business they will make credit sales. So after making credit sales, as per the schedule, we have to collect our amount from the debtors. So that is why the reason every business should frame a formal collection policy to manage their accounts receivable. So for this purpose, the business should provide a schedule for accounts receivable and the software groups receivables based on when each invoice was issued. And here there should be a proper monitor and report the implementation of collection process. And if the we have to maintain, we have to send some emails for the possibility to collect the clients, to ask them for payment. So that is called, see here, a proper collection policy should be framed by the firm. So here every time we have to follow up the customers for the payment of their debt or for the payment of their bills as soon as early possible. And here we should develop a software that which monitors and reports and the implement a collection process in a proper way. Here in a simple way we can say that collection policy should maintain to recover or to recollect our debtors, or we can say that the amount from the debtors in time. And next, second one, offer discounts. See, offer discount means offer customer a discount if they pay an invoice within 10 days. So here generally if you offer a customer, that is if you pay within 10 days, we will give you discount. Okay, for example, if you if the business announces that if you pay within a stipulated time or within a maturity period or within a specific period of time, so here the business is going to offer you 5% cash discount. So here this kind of offers, every time we can say that there is a possibility of improvement in the collection process. So here offering discounts to the debtors is one of the best strategy for the cash management. So here by collecting cash, we can say that we can eliminate easily bad debts by this strategy. So here if you offer cash discounts, normally the debtors will pay immediately to get the offer of, to get the discount offers. So which leads for the reduction in the bad debts, because if there is a delay in collection of debtors, if there is a delay in collection of debtors, ultimately it leads for the increase in the bad debts. Next, manage inventory effectively. So here we have to manage, or every business have to manage inventory effectively. So that means, for example, a business, it should maintain finished goods effectively, or it should manage finished goods effectively, because once the finished goods are effectively managed, that means if they are sent into the market in appropriate time for the sale purpose, so it generate income or it generates cash for the business. So that is why the reason every business should maintain finished goods inventory effectively to generate cash for the business. And the next one is better system. Here every business should use technology to collect cash faster. So to collect cash as soon as early possible, here the every business should use technology. This includes using software tools that speed up the time it takes to transfer payments into the company bank account. Thus you can dramatically improve your cash position if you can speed up cash inflows by just a few days. See here, we have to provide better payment option for the customer. So in such a way the customers they can freely make their payments, so that enables or that which leads for the organization to collect the cash in a simple manner as well as in a fast manner. So that is why the reason here it is advised to maintain every business, or it is advised to business to use technology for the collection of cash as soon as early possible. So that is called better system should be maintained to collect their cash. So these are the cash management strategies. And the next and last one, that is general principles of cash management. See here, general principles of cash management. The first one is determinable variations of cash needs. So in a simple way I will tell you, determinable variations of cash needs means, see here, every business generally requires some amount of cash to overcome the period anticipated as the period of cash deficit. So here sometimes the business may be with surplus amount, sometimes the business may be విత్ డిఫిషిట్ అమౌంట్. అంటే కొన్ని సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో బిజినెస్లో సర్ప్లస్ మిగులు ఉండొచ్చు, కొన్ని సందర్భాలలో బిజినెస్లో డిఫిషిట్ అంటే కొరత ఉండొచ్చు, అంటే ఫండ్స్ అనేది అంటే క్యాష్ అనేది షార్టేజ్ ఉండొచ్చు. సో టు ఓవర్కమ్ ద షార్టేజ్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్, అంటే షార్టేజ్ ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్స్ మనం ఓవర్కమ్ కావడానికి, సో హియర్ వీ షుడ్ మెయింటైన్ క్యాష్ బ్యాలెన్స్ అని చెప్తున్నాడు. అంటే క్యాష్ అనేది అట్లా మనం బై ప్రిడిక్టింగ్ ద ఫ్యూచర్ deficit situations we have to maintain the cash. And the second one is contingency cash requirement. So contingency cash requirement means here, so here the cash should be maintained by keeping in mind that there should be a unforeseen conditions in the future. సో భవిష్యత్తులో అంటే ఫ్యూచర్లో ఏమైనా కాంటింజెన్సీస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, అంటే ఏమైనా అనుకోని సంఘటనలు వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏ రకంగా ఉంటుంది అని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుని మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే క్యాష్ అనేది రిక్వైర్మెంట్, అంటే క్యాష్ అనేది మనం మెయింటైన్ చేయాలని చెప్తున్నారు. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కాంటింజెన్సీ క్యాష్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. అండ్ ద థర్డ్ వన్ ఈస్ అవైలబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ క్యాష్. See here, to meet our expenditure in a proper way, or to meet unexpected contingencies in future, or to overcome from the deficits. So here the firm should maintain, or the firm should acquire the sufficient funds in external sources like banks or private financiers, shareholders, government agencies, etc. The need for cash reserves and diminishes. So here availability of, here the firm should maintain such sources of availability of funds to meet unforeseen expenses or contingency situations in the future. So it should open, or we can say that it should get the amount from different sources like private financiers, shareholders, government agencies, etc. And next one is maximizing cash receipts. సో ఎంత వీలైతే అంతగా మన క్యాష్ రిసిప్ట్స్ అనేది మ్యాక్సిమం చేయాలంటే దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు కలెక్ట్ మ్యాక్సిమం ఆఫ్ అమౌంట్ ఫ్రమ్ అవర్ డెటార్స్. సో ఫర్ దట్ హియర్ దేర్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ కేటగిరీస్ ఆర్ దేర్. ద ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ బ్యాంకింగ్. సో హియర్ ద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ బ్యాంకింగ్లో ఏముంటుందంటే Under this system, a company establishes banking centers for the collection of cash in different areas. సో మనకు వచ్చే కలెక్షన్ని కలెక్ట్ చేయడానికి డిఫరెంట్ ఏరియాస్లో కలెక్షన్ బ్యాంకింగ్ సెంటర్స్ అంటే బ్యాంకింగ్ సెంటర్స్ని మనం ఇక్కడ పెడతామన్నట్టు. సో దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే కస్టమర్స్ ఇన్ దేర్ ఏరియాస్ ఇమీడియట్లీ దే విల్ డిపాజిట్ ద అమౌంట్. సో హియర్ దీని ద్వారా ఏమవుతుందంటే అంటే కస్టమర్స్ అనేవాళ్ళు ఉన్న చోట మనం బ్యాంకింగ్ అంటే కలెక్షన్ కోసం బ్యాంకింగ్ వీ కెన్ సే దట్ కలెక్షన్ సెంటర్స్ పెట్టినట్టయితే కస్టమర్స్ వితౌట్ డిలే దే విల్ డిపాజిట్ దేర్ అమౌంట్ ఇన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ బ్యాంక్స్. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ బ్యాంకింగ్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ లాక్ బాక్స్ సిస్టమ్. So according to this system, here a company rents out local post offices boxes of different cities, and the customers are asked to forward their remittances to these remittances are picked by authorized lock bank from these boxes to be transferred to the company central bank operated by the head office. సో ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్లో పోస్ట్ ఆఫీస్ యొక్క వీ కెన్ సే దట్ సర్వీసెస్ని ఉపయోగించుకొని ఆ అమౌంట్ అన్నిటిని ఆ పోస్ట్ ఆఫీసెస్లో డిపాజిట్ చేస్తాయినట్టు. సో ఆ పోస్ట్ ఆఫీస్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇమీడియట్గా ఇట్స్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ టు ద బిజినెస్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అనదర్ మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాక్సిమైజింగ్ దేర్ క్యాష్ రిసిప్ట్స్. సో నెక్స్ట్ రివ్యూయింగ్ క్రెడిట్ ప్రొసీజర్స్. సో హియర్ టు గెట్ మ్యాక్సిమం రిసిప్ట్స్, సో హియర్ the business can review their credit procedures. For example, if the credit period is more lengthy, so they can reduce the credit period, or you can say that the collection period they can reduce. So here it depends upon the, we can say that for example, if the credit period is more lengthy, then there is a more scope for the bad debts. So if the credit period is very less, then there is no attractive credit policy. Ultimately the customers may not be attracted towards our organization. So by keeping in these two aspects, so here the company may review their credit procedures. And next one is minimizing credit period. So that is what we discussed now, minimizing credit period. So to reduce their bad debts as well as to improve their collection or to maximize their cash receipts. So here sometimes the business may reduce their credit period also. And next fifth one is minimizing cash disbursements. So here to maintain or to manage the cash in the business, so here it sometimes minimizes cash disbursements. So that is called cash payments. It minimizes the cash payments in the organization. And the last one, that is maximizing cash utilization. So maximizing cash utilization means the best utilization of cash. So here the proper utilization of cash. For example, we allocated cash for some priority or for some purpose. So here the cash should be utilized for that purpose in a optimum way. That means without any wastage of money. So that is called, these are the general principles of cash management. And the last one, that is cash budget. See here, till now we discussed the theoretical part. So this is related to problematic concept. So in cash management, the problematic part is their preparation of cash budget. So cash budget is a statement that summarizes expected cash inflows and outflows of a business over a projected period of time. This statement provides information about the timing and amount of expected cash flow over the projected time period. It also helps a business to figure out its future cash needs and hence plan those needs accordingly. Furthermore, a cash budget helps a business in exercising control over its cash and liquidity position. So cash budget is nothing but it is a statement or it is a summary of cash inflows as well as outflows which projected for a particular period of time. For example, for the months of for a 3 months, we can say that quarterly a business can prepare a cash budget. That is statement which is showing what are the inflows, expected inflows for the particular period of 3 months, as well as what are the expected outflows for the particular period of 3 months. So is there any mismatches in the inflows as well as outflows? For example, if there is a surplus funds are there, there is no problem at all. But if there is a deficit situation is there, then accordingly that the company or the management or the business can act. That is called, we can say that if any deficits are there, then accordingly the business can plan, that is acquiring some short term loans or acquiring some working capital loan, etc. So that is why the reason here the cash management plays an important role in every business, and that helps business in exercising control over its cash and liquidity position. Okay, so this is what about the theoretical aspect or theoretical explanation related to management of cash. Okay, so in the next video we will discuss about another management of current asset. Thank you.